let me introduce a few terminologies over here. One is the principal amount P, that is the amount which is borrowed, and then you have N, which stands for number of years, and then you have R, which is the rate of interest per annum, and then A stands for the cumulative amount. So understand, cumulative amount is the amount that you have to pay back, right? So if you look at, so we will try not to use the formula, rather we will try to use the basic concepts. On simple interest, the basic concept says the cumulative interest is directly proportional to the number of years. You have to keep that in mind. Now, please understand, if you look at the cumulative amount and the principal, cumulative interest will be referring to this, right? Cumulative interest is the cumulative amount minus the principal. On the other side, for CI, what they have tried to tell you is that if I see the cumulative amounts in a particular time gap of T years, then the multiplying factor will also be constant. For each of the same duration, the multiplying factor is constant. In fact, very soon when I solve questions, you will realize this multiplying factor gives you a direct understanding of the rate of interest, or R. Right? With that much of introduction, maybe we can look at some questions to see how to handle, how to approach the questions on simple interest and compound interest. So let us try this question first. So read the question. I am going to solve it for you. Please read the question. All right, so let us understand. Let me help you to solve this. So again, if I make a table from the basic concept, I'm trying to make a table for SI on one side and CI on one side, and we are looking at the first 2 years and the total. Let's understand what they have said. They have said SI for 2 years is 2400, and the CI for the second year on the same principal at the same rate of interest is 1320. So CI for second year is 1320. Now remember what I told you, that cumulative interest under SI is proportional to number of years. That is the basic principle for SI. So if the total interest for 2 years is 2400, can I not say that the interest for 1 year will be 1200? Understand guys, when it is first year, the SI and CI will have absolutely no difference at all. Both will be same. What I also told you, for CI, the percentage change will give you an idea about the rate of interest. For example, see what is the percentage change from 1200 to 1320. Of course, 120 by 1200, that is 10%, right? So here the rate of interest will be 10%. So you should understand whether it is SI or CI. For first year, this interest was calculated by applying 10% on principal, no? So if 10% of the principal amount is 1200, then how much is the principal? That must be 12,000, correct? So your answer to this question will be 12,000 only. All right. So this is basically the common approach to solve the questions based on SICI. And I would urge, please do not blindly apply formula. By applying formula, the question can become lengthy and you might make some silly mistakes also. So these are easiest ways to consider a question from SICI. So let me take you to the next one. Please try this. Okay, so how to handle this question, guys? Again, see, if we know that the rate of interest in this case is 20%, can I say that principal after 1 year will become P into 1 plus 20 by 100, which seems to be P into 6 by 5, right? Which means at the end of second year, it will be multiplied by the same factor, 6 by 5. So this will give me the cumulative amount at the end of second year. Then what will be the cumulative interest? That is the compound interest. Remember, I told you, if you subtract the principal from the cumulative amount, you will get the interest, which as per them, as they have given in the sum, is equal to 2200. So if I simplify, it means P into 36 by 25 minus 1 equal to 2200, or P into 11 by 25 is equal to 2200. So you can easily find out the value of P will be 5000. In fact, if you have noticed, we have not used one part of the question at all. So without that also, you could get the answer as 5000, right? So this is the way you could solve the question, not by using formula, but by using the basic concept of percentages. So let me carry on to the next one. All right, so let's understand. First of all, they have said P becomes 4P in 15 years. So how much of interest, how much of cumulative interest we have gathered? That must be 3P, right? Remember, I told you the difference between the cumulative amount and the principal is the cumulative interest. So we understand for the cumulative interest to become 3P, it takes 15 years. Now, what do we want? We want P to become 16P, right? So in that process, a cumulative interest of 15P will be gathered, no? Hence, if the cumulative interest is 3P, it will take 15 years. So if the cumulative interest is 15P, then how much time should it take? So you can again get this by applying unitary method. When this is 3P, then I need 15 years. So when this is 15P, then I would require 75 years, right? By applying unitary method. So your answer to this question will be 75 years. I hope that was clear to all of you. So our answer is 75 years. So let me look at a very similar question. While this was on SI, let me look at a similar question based on compounding. In fact, that will be the last question before the test that I am going to provide with you. The response to that test will be considered as your attendance for this class. So please remain alert on your Zoom chat box. I will share the link with you on the Zoom chat box only. But before that, let us try this question. Please try this question, guys. All right, so let me take you through this question. See, remember I told you the basic principle of compounding lies in the fact that for the same period of time, the multiplying factor on the cumulative amount is a constant. So over here, if I start with P as a principle, what they have said is, given a period of 10 years, it becomes 3 times, which means it gets multiplied by 3. So which means if I wait for another 10 years, it will again become multiplied by 3 to produce 9p. If I wait for another 10 years, again this 9p will be multiplied by 3 to give me 27p. And if I wait for another period of 10 years, this 27p will get multiplied by 3 yet another time to give me 81p, which is what I want. So from p, if it has to become 81p, then for how much time did we wait? 10 years plus 10 years plus 10 years plus 10 years, which means a total of 40 years time has elapsed. So your answer to this question will be 40 years.